Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. I'm recording on Friday. I honestly forgot to record yesterday. I wasn't even paying attention to what day of the week it was. And then I thought, okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get this recorded. I'm going to get it out on time. Yeah, that didn't happen. It should have been up 40 minutes ago. Um, I was tired this morning. I honestly laid back down. And then when I finally decided, oh, okay, I'm ready to record, my son decided to watch TV in the other room, and he doesn't usually do that. And he was watching Dexter, and it was really loud. And I honestly put in earplugs, sitting here doing some stuff, getting ready. So, anyway, house is quiet for now. We'll see how long it lasts. At the moment, is only myself and my oldest boy that is home. And he just went back to his room, so we'll see what happens. Anyway, it is August 15th, and it is, well, let's see, when I wrote that, it was 87 degrees outside. It's actually 91 degrees outside now. And this is episode 68. So let's get started with some finished objects. It has been 2 weeks since I talked to you last, because last week I had a tutorial up, and I have a new pattern. So it is a full tutorial. Everything is on the tutorial, but I do have a written pattern that is on Ravelry. So if you want the written pattern, it's only $3. It's just so that, because some people prefer having that written pattern over a YouTube. I like being able to refer to a YouTube video when I get stuck on a pattern, but I like to be able to have that pattern in front of me to just work on. So anyway, the new Wednesday from the original Addams Family, the new Wednesday, if you don't know. If you know, you know, but if you don't. So that season 2 just came out, or the first half of season 2 just came out. And there was rumors that Cousin It from the original would be in this season. I do not know, and honestly have not had the chance to sit down and watch the show yet. But there were rumors, so I decided to make a Cousin It. So I came up with a pattern and did the tutorial. So I have 2 of them, because one was for the tutorial and one was my original pattern. So little Cousin It's, isn't it cute? And they are fuzzy, because you actually brush the piece. So there's what the regular yarn looks like, and then you brush it with a wire brush, and which I haven't cleaned out yet since I did that. Look at that. So you brush it with the wire brush to make it all fuzzy. And then I used pipe cleaners and actual safety eyes for the eyes. Made his little hat. And then my son came up with the idea of giving him a little cane, which just kind of sticks right into his fur. See? You just kind of, however you want it sitting, and just rub it in there and he's nice. So anyway, that's first finished object. I think they're super cute. And if you want to make one yourself, I will link the pattern and the video down below, which is where I will link anything else that I happen to talk about. And if I forget something, just let me know. Okay, moving on. Queen Anne's lace. I showed you guys last time a little sample of some fiber I had been dyeing with Queen Anne's lace. And if you don't know what Queen Anne's lace is, I will pop up a picture. It's a plant we have growing all along the roadways and everything here. And I knew it was a dye plant, and I had wanted to use it. So I did. So I actually did. And a lot of times when I'm playing with dyes, I just do a little tiny bit to see how the colors work and everything. But since I knew it was a dye plant, I did a larger batch, and I got it all carded. So here's all my carded fluff of Queen Anne's lace dyed Hampshire wool that is attaching to me. There we go. Tuck it in there. So this has all been carded. So we've got separate little bats here. And I actually did run this through, there's still little pieces. I ran this through the drum carder and did not run it through the pop lock first or flick it, but it was a much cleaner fleece than what all this bright yellow has been, because this is also Hampshire. So this has had a lot more focus. This has had, you can actually see it there. It's got a lot more VM in it. So I've been making sure to flick all this before I run it through. And then I actually only have to run it through there once, because it's all, I mean, once I flick it, it's all nice and clean and like in order. And there was something in that, probably because it's just been sitting in here for a while and I keep dropping stuff in the box. So I only have to run it through there once. When I don't do that first, and I usually run it through at least 3 times. So this was a lot cleaner. So I just ran it through. I sat outside and just picked it apart really well to try and get anything out I saw. And then as I ran it through the drum carder, I was trying to pick some stuff out. There's still a few things in it that I can see here and there, but it's not bad. So I don't feel like I did the wrong thing there. I shouldn't have too much problem. So this is all ready to be spun. So that's something I want to do. I would like to have at least one skein of it done that I could enter in Lambtown, in the textiles in Lambtown. Why am I not doing the yellow, the bright yellow? Because the judge this year, she knows about all my bright yellow I'm doing. And so if a skein pops in there that is bright yellow dyed with Osage orange, she's gonna know it's me. Which, she is an incredibly fair judge. She would still judge it fairly, but I'm not. It was funny because I get on a Zoom meeting with her like every Monday morning. She has a craft Zoom, and this has been sitting right back here. So I took this blanket and covered it up when I was on the Zoom meeting the other day so she wouldn't see it. So that needs to get spun. But what I'm thinking might be fun, we'll see. I mean, you know how I am. I change my mind. If things sit there too long, I change my mind. But how I've been wanting to do a sweater with the bright yellow, if by the time I get all that done, which is the rate I'm going, who knows when that'll be. If I just change my mind on the pattern and decide to do something with color work, there's enough here that I could probably, well, which we'll see when it's done being spun, but I could probably use this with that to do a color work that would just be a slight change, because, I mean, there's a decent enough difference there, but it would still go together because it's yellow. So I don't know. We'll see. It's just a thought that's floating through my head at the moment. Okay. Shrug. I finished my shrug. I started, you know, it wouldn't be one of my podcast videos without me dropping something. At least it wasn't loud this time. Okay, got it. I started this the night that they did the make-along video for Lambtown. So this is something I made as a make-along for Lambtown. And I started it on July 31st. And I finished it on August 9th. And I used, you know, you always think you're organized until you actually start recording, and then you realize you've forgotten something. Never. I got one better. I forgot where I put it. Guess where I put it? Right there. It's literally sitting right here. Okay, so the pattern that I used is the Granny Shrug, designed by Linda Dean, and she is one of the teachers for the classes at work at Lambtown this year. The yarn I used was what do they call this? I can't read this, but I put it in my Ravelry pattern page. So what did I, wait, that means I have to go to mine. Hold on. see again. I mean, come on, get with it, Tina. My pattern projects. There we go. Trying to keep things updated on here for you guys. You know, and I was watching Wyoming Knits the other day, and she asked if people would prefer her project page to the actual pattern page because the pattern is linked in our project page. So, and some people were saying they would rather have the project page because then they can see any differences that we might have made and still be able to go to the pattern from there. So let me know in the comments what you would rather me put up, and I will do that too. But anyway, looking back in my pattern notes, I put the yarn in there because I couldn't tell what that was supposed to be. And when I looked it up to put the yarn into here, that is a GGH. I had the H, but I would have never guessed that was supposed to be a GG. So GGH Samoa is the yarn, and the color is just called 18 white. And the other yarn I used is a Barocco Luca, and the color for it is 5811. Such interesting colors. You guys know I like the fun names. Anyway, so this was the Barocco. That's the gold color I used, and this is the white. That's the GG Samoa. So when I started this, I had 4 of the white, and they have where's it at on this tag? I don't even see it on here. Okay, well, on my pattern notes, I used 3 skeins of the white, which equals 312 yards. And I actually used almost 3 skeins. I just put down that I used 3, but that was what was left from one of these whites. So I had started off with 4. I still have one of those left. So that was nice. And then I started off with 6 of the Lucas, the Barocco Lucas. I started off with 6 of them. I used a little bit from this one, not much. It was just when I was working on this border here. So I basically have 3 of those left. So I only used half of them, which was really nice too. And so I put on there that I used 3 skeins. I honestly did go slightly over. So that says 468 yards. But so that's what I had done. So I still have yarn left. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I might have to make something to go with this, but I don't know what. This one is 50% cashmere, 50% cotton. This one is 50% cotton, 50% acrylic. These were ones that were given to me by my friend Mary. So I did not actually pay anything out of pocket. This was from her stash, and the yellow she had just won in a giveaway basket, and it was more my color than hers. And I decided to do this when I saw the different pattern ideas for the make along for Lambtown. I thought, because it's usually well over 100 degrees at Lambtown, or at least the last few years, I've gone 3 years now, and every year it's been over 100 degrees. So I thought, okay, I want something that is not going to be real heavy and warm. I'm not going to wear it otherwise. And I thought this would be nice and light, both things being 50% acrylic, and it's got the open weave to it. It's only covering, you know, your arms and your back a little bit. So if you get chilled, it would be nice for that, but without being really hot. And if it was something where it was a little bit cooler, you could have long sleeves on under it and it would still be a cute accessory. So I thought this would be a good one for me. I did not specifically pick it because it was a really easy, quick pattern. That was just an added bonus. And hey, I'm going to take it when I can. If I can do something that's quick and easy and I think it's really cute, bonus. So I love it. I think it's really cute. And it's been too warm here right now to wear it. I thought I was going to wear it to the fair the other day to show Mary because we were working together. And I didn't get very far out of the house before it got put in my bag. And when I got there, I pulled it out and showed it to her, and it went right back into my bag. Because we have been around, like I said, it's 91 right now. We've been around the 90s. The only reason I can have it on right now is I have the AC on, and I put the AC on at around 68. And that still means that upstairs is probably 10 to 20 degrees hotter. I shut the vents off down here trying to pump the air up there for them. But anyway, I might end up taking it off though before we're done because it is currently 72 in here. So it hasn't even hit the 68. It's 72. So we'll see. We'll see how long it stays on. Okay, where's my, now I've gone flippy floppy here on everything. Find where my notes were at. There they are. Oh, as long as we're on the subject of fair. So I showed you guys the fiber that I had, that another thing Mary had given me, some fiber that she didn't really care for. It was by Lisa Sousa. Do not know where my tag is for it, but it's by Lisa Sousa, and it's 50% merino and 50% tussa silk. And Lisa Sousa is a local indie dyer to me. She's probably about 3 hours from where I live. And real pretty yellow colors, which was not her thing. And it was actually, when she handed it to me, was not quite as dark as this, but it was not that far off. But this was not a fully saturated fleece. So there was a lot of white inside, so it lightened up a lot. And Mary was like, ooh, now I kind of like it. I'm like, too bad, it's mine now. So I spun it. This was my fair spin. So the first day I was at the fair, I spun one bobbin. The next day I was spinning at the fair, I spun the second bobbin. And the last day I plied it all, which sounds, you know, easy and pleasant and all that. And it was not so much, because for some screwy reason, 2 of my bobbins for that wheel have disappeared. So I have a Kromsky that it folds up into a backpack. And I have 3 bobbins for that wheel, which is really nice because I can spin 2 bobbins and ply on the third. Those bobbins always stay in that bag so that I have them. Only 1 bobbin was in that bag. And I didn't realize that till I was there the first day. So I was there the first day for 6 hours. The other days were only 3. The first day was 6 hours. So I finished that bobbin before the end of the day. But I couldn't start on the second bobbin because I didn't have it. So I had actually brought a spindle with me. This is one of my own design that I had my husband make for me. And I had brought this with me, so you can see I got a decent amount of spinning because I had emptied this before I went that day. So I did this while I sat there that day. And I came home and I'm like, okay, I've got to get, I couldn't find the bobbins. Some of you know that we are planning to move, and I have been starting to do some packing. And my husband's like, why are you packing yet? Because we still have a few months before we go. And it's just by packing, now we have boxes in our way, you know? And my son kind of even did the same thing to me. Mom, why are you packing this stuff up? Because if you notice, all the books are not behind me. He's like, Mom, that's your backdrop. And I took stuff off here. And he's like, why'd you pack that up? I said, well, I figured there were things I didn't need right now. I'll pack them up. I had a book I couldn't find when I started doing this dyeing. It's the one color book that I got a while back that Yenta from Ming Wolding had shown on one of her videos. I love this book. So yes, I have it back out. You know why? I had to open up every one of my boxes trying to find these 2 rogue bobbins. And I told my son, well, if I find it, I said, you guys get to say, I told you so. So while I was in there, I pulled out the book I was wanting out. So I have that back out. Still couldn't find the bobbins. And I have my shacked, I've got 2 shacks and a whole bunch of bobbins for both of them. And the bobbins are similar. And I thought I remembered recently seeing some bobbins in that grouping that I'm like, these are not the right bobbins, and not thinking that much more of it. And I'm thinking now they were these bobbins. And I thought, okay, maybe I had packed them because I knew they weren't bobbins for that. And I've packed most of my wheels. I've only kept a couple wheels out, and I do have those wheels packed. And I thought, okay, I must have packed the wheel or the bobbins thinking they were for one of the other wheels. That's why I went through all the boxes. No. But those wheels are packed into a little cargo trailer that actually has all our camping gear in it. And I thought, okay, there's enough room in there. I can put spinning wheels, break down the ones I can break down, put the wheels into it. And I have a little basket that's got some extras and stuff, which would have gone out there. But I don't think that this whole bobbin thing happened before I did that. So that's the only other place I can think that they are, because I can't find them. I've looked and I can't find them. So long story short, I had to get the singles off of that bobbin so that I could use it again. And so my son, I showed him this one that's a 3D printed thing, and he's like, okay, give me a minute, Mom. He goes to the garage, starts going through stuff, finds some different bolts and everything, and they worked. He put the bobbin onto this big long bolt and put hold on, explain this a little easier. Should be sitting here somewhere, but anyway, he took the bobbin, he put a washer and then slid the bolt onto it, and it came out this end, and then he put a nut onto it, screwed it down, and then there's a little bit of that bolt sticking out, and he put it into the power drill. And then I was able to, which that one had a empty bobbin on it, so then I was able to put the full bobbin on the Lazy Kate, the empty bobbins on the drill, and I started it, and then I was able to just go wee and wind that all off onto this other bobbin to hold it. So there are some people that actually have storage bobbins. They don't fit any wheel, they just use them to store singles. So I pulled it all off onto a spare bobbin, and I went the next day and I spun another single. And my drive band popped while I was there that day. So I didn't have a spare. I know better now, but I didn't have a spare. So I had cut it, and then luckily the way that wheel is set up, I could lower the mother ball on it and retie my drive band so it was shorter. But then I'm trying to get all my tensions right, and I couldn't quite get my tensions right. And I'm like, oh, 3/4 of this bobbin did not feel like it was spun well. And I was so tempted to come home and like pull it off and respin it, literally. But I didn't. I came home and I still had some left. I finished spinning it, and then I pulled it off same way, wing, onto another bobbin. So when I went the last day, I had these 2 filled bobbins, put them, this wheel happens to have its own Lazy Kate, which is great. So I put them on there and I applied it. I was pleasantly surprised that this yarn came out better than I expected after that second day of spinning. So now, after all that jibber jabber, are you ready to see my finished yarn? there's my finished yarn, and I am actually proud of it. I think it came out nice. It's much lighter, like I said, than what it had started out at, but I think it's really pretty, and it's got those little bits of green that, yes, match my nails. Little bits of yellow that match my clothes. So I think it's a really pretty yarn, and it is so lightweight feeling and fluffy. And it's like really, really, really nice feeling, and it's very soft. So now I have to decide what I want to do with it. I think it would be a great cowl, except that I never wear them. I'm like so tired of making hats and scarves and different things that I don't wear. I just don't wear them. I don't usually get cold enough to wear that kind of stuff. Even here in Northern California, where it will get really cold, it might drop, it's 90, gone up to 92. It's 92 right now. But by 8 o'clock tonight, it might be 60 or in the 50s. But I still just don't get cold enough usually to put on a hat or a scarf or something like that, or a cowl. So it's like I'll make them, and I love them, and they're beautiful, and I'll have them sitting there, literally sitting there. Here's my stash. Let's see, we got the 3 cowls, bandana style cowls I made recently. Oh, and then we got the poppy hat and the acacia hat, and what else is in here? I don't know. I think there's more in there. I mean, you guys have been with me a while. You know the things that I'm making all the time. That's what's happens to them. I might put them on once. I might wear them for a photo, and then they sit because I'm never cold enough to wear them. That's, I think, one of the reasons why I really like to make blankets. I use the blankets. I love blankets, but I just don't wear the other stuff. And I'm like, guys, help me figure out things. Help me figure out what to make with this. Help me figure out what to make with. I've got this pile of yarn, beautiful yarn from Tour de Fleece. I have no idea what to do with any of it, because I mean, it would all make beautiful hats. It would all make beautiful scarves or shawls. I mean, even a shawl, I don't really use it. I've taken this a couple times, and I'll tie the ends to kind of put it on like this so that it stays on me. But I do love sweaters, and I love sweaters that are open. I don't like, I need it open so I can stay cooler. So I do like a sweater, but after that experience with that tank top I recently did, I'm scared to do a sweater, to be perfectly honest. And I mean, I've got lots of single skeins because of, the stuff that I make. So I have lots of single skeins, but I know there's patterns out there where I could take and do multiple skeins. Some of these skeins would be beautiful together. So I could put some together. And I mean, heck, even with the stuff I've processed myself, I mean, that would be pretty with that. And you stick in that other yellow, I mean, that would all go together. I could do things like that. I'm rambling, but I'm frustrated. I'm just tired of making things that I don't use. And I mean, I give things as gifts, but how many people want a million hats from me or something like that? And I mean, I know I have family too that doesn't wear the hats. And I've made hats for my kids and my husband. My husband wears baseball hats all the time, and he's actually requested hats from me. But in general, if I make him a hat, he might put it on once, and then that's going to be it too. My older son used to wear them more than he does now. My younger one, that helps me with my stuff, my dog is laying on a cord, and I can see the cord moving on the table. That's kind of funny. What are you doing down there, Dobby? Hold on. He's got his leg caught in the cord. Maybe that's why that cord isn't working. Hold on a second. Okay. I mean, he was totally caught on that thing. It was wrapped all the way around his belly. Yeah, you're silly. Where was I? Anyway, yeah, I'll make stuff. Oh, my younger son, he does wear the hats. And what is that? Oh, I know what that is. He's got really, really, really long hair. His hair is like shaved here, and then this is where he has hair, and it is so thick and so long. And he usually keeps it pulled up in a little bun, little man bun. But when he gets out of the shower, and I might have told you this before because he wanted that one muscle burrow hat specifically for this. When he gets out of the shower, his hair's so wet and it stays wet for so long, and he'll put it up in a beanie and put that on to, just kind of contain the moisture and have it kind of help wick it away. Or he'll just wear them sometimes at night. I mean, he's got a partially shaved head, so that's going to get cool. I mean, and I've made a few hats for him, so he really likes them and he uses them. And I mean, yeah, I can make socks, and I've made some socks, but the only thing is the majority of those socks, that's fingering weight yarn. I have not been able to make fingering weight yarn yet. This is more of a worsted weight. So I can make some thick, slippery socks, and we're moving. Like I said, we're moving. We're moving to Louisiana. And it's going to be even warmer there. And they can get cold during the winter. They can. I mean, when I was filming videos when we were down there, if you remember, and I made a hat and a cowl while I was down there because it was really cold. But, that's like, what, 2 months out of the year on occasional days, because it might be really cold that one day and the next day is not. So again, you're going to have this fluctuation in temperature like you do here, but you are going to have more heat there. So what am I going to do with hats and scarves and stuff down there? That was another reason I made this, because I knew down there it might get more use than if I was making something bigger. This didn't have to be fitted really either, so I wasn't as worried about making this. It was a big rectangle that gets sewed up. That's simple. Okay, I'm like extremely ranting now, or raving, or what? I'm losing it, people. I'm losing it. Help me come up with things that I can make. And I mean, was it Mary said, oh, you could make an emotional sport chicken with it, which yes, I could, but again, you can only make so many of those. So anyway, I need ideas. My stash is growing. I have been really good about not buying yarn. Thank you very much. And I honestly just canceled one of my subscriptions because I need to use the stuff I have. I still have my Paradise Fibers. So if you watch me, my Paradise Fibers, I still have that. I have an affiliate link. It is down below, and a discount code, and some people have been using it. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much, because that really, really helps. But so I will still be getting that. I've got to have something new that comes in from time to time. But I have a massive stash of acrylic yarns. I have a massive stash of wool yarns and stuff. I have a massive stash of stuff I've spun myself. And I have a massive stash of fleece that still needs to be spun. So I need to know what to make with things. Yeah, okay. Enough about that. Something else I finished. I did finish one more thing. It was a spur of the moment thing that I decided to make. So a while back, I bought a little stool at Five Below. And I think I paid about $5 for the stool. And I just wanted something for here that I could put my feet up on and not be putting it on a box or something like that. The only thing is hello, it was a $5 stool. So there was like literally like no padding in this thing. And it had a fuzzy fabric on it, like a faux fur fabric that just like got all matted up and stuff caught in it, especially where I work with all this. Pieces of this VM and stuff would end up in the fur, and it looked horrible. And I'd rest my feet on it, and where there's no padding, it would make my heels hurt. So the other day, my son helped me, And we pulled everything off, and yeah, it literally had like no padding. I mean, no joke, it had padding that was like that. Why not? Mm, mm. Focus. There we go. Had padding that was like that. I mean, it was nothing. Pulled off the fabric, threw that away. Did leave that itty bitty little bit of padding just because it created a barrier with the particle board that was underneath it. And I had from a stool that we actually recovered for my son. He's got a stool he came across years and years and years ago when he was little, and he loved this stool, and we have recovered it a couple different times now. So we had some foam left. So we took the foam and we cut two pieces. So we have a piece like this and then one that was a little bit smaller, and it's nice thick foam. And we put it on it, and then we stretched fabric down over it and stapled it. And if you hear something in the background, it's my son talking to his kittens. There's my stool now. So it's not beautiful down here. It's just my stool for sitting here, but isn't that cute? It came out super cute. It's fabric that I actually bought a while ago. I've used it for other things, and now it has this really nice cushioning on it, and it's not going to have stuff get caught in the fabric. And I can put my feet up on it and I can relax, and it's nice. I like it. So that was just a little quick thing I had to do. Had to do it. Now we have a fully quiet house. I'm back. How rude. Did you hear? I was going to say he's out of the house, and now he just walked back in the house. Did you hear that? A whole I'm back. Ugh. And he knew I was recording too. He did that on purpose. Little brat. Big brat. 6'3" brat. Say hello, John.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Okay. Yeah, that's the one that will allow me to. He don't care if people see him. He's not the shy one. He's my social butterfly. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. Where's my... Does it show on here how long I've been recording? I mean, I know it does. Yes. Okay. 30 minutes, and I haven't gotten to whips yet. Okay. Works in progress. I'll start with this one. In my Barley Pearls bag. They're little minis. I love their little mini. I need to get another one. I want another one. I just have one. I need another one. Okay. Which, hey, see how like the little license plates and stuff? Look at that. Look at that. See? Can you see a theme going on here? And it's got little vans and campers. I like VW fans, and if you've known me since we were kids, you'll know why, because I grew up with one. And the little campers, and I like the old trucks and that kind of stuff. Yeah, country roads take me home. Okay, anyway, this is my Vanilla Socks by Kayla Linton, the Crazy Sock Lady, and this is my to-go project that I carry in my purse. This nice little bag fits perfectly in my purse, and it goes with me. So it only gets work when I'm not at home and I haven't brought some other project with me, because that does happen. And I think the last time I showed it to you, last time I showed it to you, I was just starting the heel turn. That's where my marker's at. Haha. So I now do have the heel done, and I'm working the gusset decreases. So it's getting there. This one it's fully, I say fully by the pattern, but no, I think the pattern has a 1x1 rib and I did a 2x2 rib. And otherwise it's fully to the pattern, the 60 rows for the leg and everything. And I'm doing the, come on, focus. 64 stitches is what I've done. So still got a ways to go. This is still the first sock, and like I said, it only gets worked on when I'm out and about. That's my travel project. It's my easy vanilla knitting stay in purse project. And I have not done anything more on the vanilla bean sock. So I finished the one sock, have not started the second one because I had been working on this. I wanted to finish this. I have certain projects I start working on that I want to finish. And then I have other projects that sit there that I can pick up and work on when I want to. And I wanted to finish this before I started back on that, but I have another project in progress that I would like to also finish before I get to that, because this one I started a while back. I actually started this one on July 3rd. I worked on it one day and then I got set down again until I just picked it back up on Sunday. So it's gone, you know, I had that one day's worth of work and then it sat there for a month. So I wanted to pick it up and finish it. And it is in this a cute little bag with Smokey the Bear. Again, if you've known me for a long time, you will know that my father's nickname was Smokey for Smokey the Bear. So I have a thing about Smokey the Bear stuff because it makes me think of my dad. And I lost my dad in 2001, just after that child that you just saw. He was 6 months old, so he never got to know my dad. But anyway, so Smokey the Bear stuff makes me think of him. Maybe someday I will tell you the story behind it. But anyway, this is a project bag, and I don't know the exact designer, but it's on Nancy Bates' website. She has some project bags on there, but I don't think she actually does them. It's somebody else. There might be. Is there a label in this? No. Anyway, it's really cute. It's got little pockets inside, and it's got the handle so you could carry it or whatever. It's also got California poppies on it. But we're not here for the bag, are we? Well, some people are. I do like seeing people's bags. Sometimes I just have to have it. This is the Washington hat. Yes, another hat. The Washington hat by Nancy Bates. And I am currently, I've just started. Nope, I'm caught. I've just started the next color here. There's only one more color to add in after this one. And this hat has a lot of duplicate stitching because Nancy Bates always makes sure that her hats, you're only working with 2 colors at a time. And when you get to a third color, then she does duplicate stitching. So you still only have to work with 2 colors, and then you can go back and add those in later. And some of her hats, like this one, so you can actually see it's a little 3-dimensional right there where the darker color is on the orange. Those were duplicate stitched. And there's a decent amount there, but it's not a whole lot. This one has a whole lot. And I decided to work all my stitching and not do duplicate stitch. I just didn't feel like doing duplicate stitch. So I am currently got 3 colors going, and there's a couple rows that have a 4th color. So we'll see what happens there. But at the moment I am working all 3 colors. But I saw, and I forgot about that till just now, but there was a video that I watched the other day, and hold on, let me find it. Okay, it is by Carrie Craft Geek. I subscribed to her, and it was a video she just did. what was it? It was only, oh, it was 2 weeks ago. Gosh, I didn't think it was that long ago. Anyway, it's called Capture Floats Like a Master Knitter. And oh my gosh, eye-opening video. And I will link this video below. If you are a knitter that does color work and you have issues capturing your floats, go watch this video. And she shows, depending on different styles of knitting, whether you hold your yarn here or you hold your yarn here and things like that. And I mean, I literally only watched probably the first part of the video because right at the first part, she showed the way I hold my yarn, and that's what I needed. And, you know, I thought I was doing a decent job at the way I was capturing my floats and making it as easy as I possibly could for myself. And, you know, I'm proud of my float catching. I thought I was doing okay with my floats. I watched her video and I was like, that just made this so much easier. So the fact that I'm holding that extra yarn right now isn't really even bothering me that much because I watched this video and she had these amazing tips. So if you do color work and you have issues, you have to go watch her video. So thank you, Carrie, for opening my eyes. So anyway, I'm trying to finish that hat, and I have been where I am actually working with 3 colors right now. And if you can tell, the colors, keep catching it. Colors are similar, especially these 2 darker colors. They are very similar. I hope they show up more when this is done, because that was one of the things I didn't like. Both of these, the yarn sets I got from Nancy Bates, and the colors that are in the book are a more vivid difference. So these 2 oranges are there's much more contrast in the book, and I think these ones had more contrast, which that book's not out yet. That book comes out in October, her 50 States book. But here is, which you probably just saw it up there anyway, so I don't know why I'm showing you here, but you can see the difference in the colors there. So I'm just starting that lighter color right here, but you can see that these colors just don't look to me as vivid as contrast. I don't know. We'll see when I'm done. But because those colors are a little bit darker and stuff, I've been sitting here at the desk where I have all these lights, and I have lights here, and I can put more light on me as I do it. So I would have it done by now, except that it's only happening when I'm sitting here. But if I actually sit down to do this, because I am already halfway through the, am I halfway? Let's see, I'm on row 16 of the color work, and there's 45, but once you hit row 27, you start decreasing. So by the time you get to row 45, you're only doing like 6 stitches. So, you know, it goes faster as you get towards the top. So in reality, if I actually just sit down and work on this, I would probably have it done by the end of the day. It's just me sitting down to do that here. So that should, by the time I show it to you again, it should hopefully be done, if I've gotten the chance to sit down and do it. And I played with my screen and I moved my list again. There we go. Oh, I have been getting some work done on this though. My nice, yes, I do need all this yarn bag. One of my last Joann Fabrics purchases, the huge bag full of lots and lots of yarn, all my yarns that I've been picking up at the different yarn stores. And this is my Blair, I don't know if I'm saying this right. I really don't. So I apologize if I'm not. Blair Athol Blanket by Marion Mitchell. And yes, I did mark it. So the last time you guys saw it, it was right there. And now it's all the way up to here. So I've gotten some of this done. I've been working on it watching TV. So it's been getting some. I actually did quite a few rows last night. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I did 5 rows last night, which when you look at it like this doesn't seem like much, but when you start to open it up and see how wide it actually is, it takes a little while to get across that whole row. But I have gone through the whole set of colors twice now. So we started down here with this dark vibrant green, went all the way through to this. I should say this is a bright green, vibrant green, green. There, how about that? Green. Went to this dark green and then reversed and went back to the green. And now I've just started to reverse again. So it's going to go back and forth. And then you can see that little zigzag there because of the way the rows where I stopped my color change and reverse. So you can see that little zigzag of that here too. So I think it's coming out really pretty. I love the way those colors look. And I do love blankets. I can't help myself. I love a good blanket. So yeah, that one is coming along and there are lots of yarns in it. Lots of different yarns from different places and all over. And now I just got fur on me because dog likes to lay in my lap when I'm working on it. Only other thing that I have worked on a little bit is, so, which I don't have to show you all of them. I have some more spindles that my husband finished, and then I do like the hooks in them and stuff like that. So I went through and I did that the other day, trying to get caught up on stuff, and then put them all up with everything else. So I don't have them all to show you, but this one I knew was in there. And once I got to it and I oiled it all up and everything, and I was like, yeah, no, this one is not getting sold. This one is mine. It has to be mine because it has this pretty green colored wood here, which is called lignum vitae. And then it has black walnut, and then it has bloodwood. So it's got this green, brown, and orange. So the green, hello, nail, and the autumnal colors that I love. And you can see that shimmer in it. It's just so pretty. And I was like, yeah, no, this one has to be mine. And so I have been doing a little bit of spinning on it. So when I went the last day of the fair, I brought this one with me instead of the other one I showed you. And once I had finished plying, then I pulled this out and I did some spinning. So that is, I'm enjoying that. And I couldn't, me misplacing things, and this one had nothing to do with moving. I had some spindles I couldn't find, and it's been driving me crazy because I couldn't find them anywhere. I finally found them the other day. But it was this one that he had made me. It was wood from my mom's house, and I had this one that's made from recycled plastic, and I use this one whenever I am doing the dyeing, and I'll do my little samples, and I always spin them on this one, and I couldn't find it. And I had one that he had started, or that I needed to finish off for him, that was another one that he had done that was recycled plastics. And so I've been using it because I couldn't find this one, which I really wanted. So, but the only bad thing about these is they are not pretty. They spin beautifully. They are not a pretty spindle, which is why he hasn't made any more of them. He only made the 2. This one I just took some paint pins the one day and threw some color on it just so that it had something more. But I need to actually like really paint it and decorate it, make it look pretty. So Anyway, I found those spindles that I had been looking for all over the place. And as soon as I did that, then this one came to be because I had actually been using one of the other spindles that is in our cell stuff because I couldn't find mine. And I have plenty, but I couldn't find what I was wanting. So, been working on that one. So, let's see. That only took me an hour to tell you guys the stuff I've been working on. I'm sorry, this is a long one. I do apologize. I hope you're still here. If you're still here, make sure and click like and subscribe. Yeah, I promise I won't keep you here too much longer. I just have a few more things. Acquisitions happy mail. I have no happy mail. That made that part easy. Acquisitions, very, very little. Uh, I'd shown you the stuff Mary got from her basket she had won, and she also gave me this set, which I didn't have. I told you guys I might be getting. So she did give me this set because she has the same set at home. So it's a really nice set, and I did not have this or one like it. It has, I have a likey one that's all wood. This one has the metal tips and has, it opens up. It's got, oh, it's got all these. I'm dropping them out. And then it has all your little cables and ends and little tags to hang on it and everything with your sizes and stuff. So that will be fun to play with on a new project. And the only other thing, which really is not fiber related, but it was cute, I had to show you. So my neighbors had gone on a camping trip up to Oregon, and when they came back, they gave me that sticker, which I forget where she said that was from. Oh, look at it shimmer. And they went to Oregon. They also went to Astoria, Oregon. If you are an 80s child like me, you will know why that made me so happy. And I have never actually been there because, hello, Goonies never say die. I love Goonies. Goonies is awesome. And did you know they're coming out with a new movie? I'm so excited. So they brought me home a little Goonies sticker. But when they went to Astoria, now, again, some of you may know, I collect coffee sleeves. I have well over 200 coffee sleeves. When I get to the new house and I get everything set up, I'm hoping to actually like put them on a wall and have like the wall just kind of covered in all these coffee sleeves where you can see them all. We'll see. But it started a long time ago because I walked into Badass Coffee and they had these fun little coffee sleeves with the donkey on it and this funny name. And I started collecting them like people used to collect business cards or matchbooks. And when somebody goes somewhere, they'll send me coffee sleeves. And I usually ask them to write onto the sleeve, you know, that they gave it to me and where they got it from. Some people do, some people don't. But it's just fun. And especially when you find a fun coffee sleeve. So anyway, she got me one from Astoria Coffee. So I was like, oh, that was super cool. And it's right up there at one of my top favorites. But then she got me another one. And this one probably is going to be my favorite. It's Smokey the Bear. Keep Oregon green. Only you can prevent wildfires. I was like, when she sent me a picture of this one, I was like, oh my gosh, that's probably my favorite because it makes me think of my daddy. So that's it though, as far as acquisitions go. So not bad. Husband stuff. He has been working hard. He's gotten some more spindles and stuff done, but again, I put them up. But he's been working on the inkle looms. So he has now made a total of 9 inkle looms. One, you know, the first one was for Mary, who started this whole thing, and then he made one for myself and my sister-in-law, and then he made 2 that have already sold, and he's got ones he is making so that we will have them when we go to Lambtown. So if you are in this area, or even if you're not, hey, come to Lambtown Festival, Dixon, first weekend in October. And you guys know I will be saying that everyone until that happens. Anyway, here is just one that he recently did, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. It is black walnut and poplar, and I wasn't sure when he first brought it in. You can see the wood burning is a little hard to see on this one, but when he first brought it in, I was like, honey, why did you do the light color here? And he's like, well, I thought the color difference would be really pretty. And I was like, okay, I get that, but I didn't notice as much because you would not believe the difference that wood looks between oiled and not oiled. So there wasn't as strong of a difference. It was just, okay, there's two different woods. As soon as I oiled it, I mean, that just totally popped, and I just think it is so pretty. Now, most people, they like the light colored stuff because it matches their other stuff, but me, I like oddball stuff. So I thought that one came out beautiful. I could have traded it for the one I have, but mine's yellow, and it's like, how often do you see yellow wood? So I am sticking with mine. So that is one of the ones that he has done. He just did two I have sitting over here that still need to be oiled, and he did them out of curly maple. And then there is another one that is available for sale that is beech. So at the moment he has 4 that are available for sale. That's beech, 2 curly maple, and this one. But I think they're really pretty. And then moving right into the next thing of life stuff, fair was just happened, and now it's over, and it came and went so quickly, and they're honestly, it keeps getting less and less people are entering things like this anymore, and it's a shame. But and I honestly didn't enter as much because I mean they're charging you $5 for each entry now, and I know it just seems like things don't get judged as well. And when you don't have as many people you're competing against, even when you do win, you don't always feel like you've really fully earned this win because you're not competing against as many people. So I entered 4 things. Husband entered 3 things. I entered our neighbor. My son entered 5 photos, and my sister-in-law entered an emotional sport chicken. So I entered my little bunny, and he got 4th or 5th place. I don't know where I set the label for that one. He had gotten 4th or 5th place, something like that. So, and then I had entered my little pine needle basket, which I think had gotten 2nd place. And I entered my husband's spindle. He got 1st place on this. And I entered this bowl of his, which is purple heart and canary wood, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And he got 1st place on that. And my neighbor, his bowl that was the same type of style, but his was, I think, maple and black walnut, and he got 2nd place. I entered the loom that my husband made for me, but he did not place on that, which I will say some of the stuff he was against on that, beautiful. There was a big canoe. I mean, come on, this huge, massive canoe with lots of wood in it. He couldn't compete against that. So I entered this skein of yarn, and I think if I had had like 2 more days before I entered it, and I could have entered this one instead, it would have been a better spin. But anyway, that's just me going, gosh, if only. So I entered this one and I got 4th place on the natural die, and I got 5th place for the spin. So I got 4th and 5th on that one. And then I entered, oh yeah, there's my other tags. Yeah, it was 5th place I got on the bunny. And then I had entered this one that you guys might have seen the video that I had done, that was the Icelandic wool, and I did the rug, and I had done the video where I spun this and knit it, and it was for the Spinners Challenge, and the challenge this year was 100% Icelandic wool. So I entered that, and I actually got 1st place, and I got the Spinners Challenge award. They wrote it in pencil right here, so it says Spinners Challenge Perpetual Trophy right there, little tiny thing in pencil. And then this got set on a bottom shelf towards the back of the shelf where you couldn't even see it. And I was like, I won a special award, and you didn't even won. It should have been, it technically, I think it's supposed to go out where the best of show stuff is, because of it being a big award like this, but it's the award's slightly different from the rest of the best of shows. But if nothing else, it was supposed to be in our Fiber Guild booth where all the other fiber stuff is. I mean, all the hand spuns and stuff like that is supposed to be in that booth. So I was there the first day. So I actually went and got it and set it on the counter in our booth. Because I'm like, it needs to at least, even if I hadn't won, that's where it should have been. But I was like, okay, I won this award. And it's a perpetual trophy, which means it's a plaque, and it has little plaques on it. And each year when somebody wins it, then their name and everything gets put on this little plaque on the award, and it gets passed to the next person the next year. So it's actually supposed to be at the fair, so it can be displayed with this, which it wasn't. I actually know who has it, and I know she's had a lot of stuff. She actually just moved, so, and she honestly had won it for like the last, I don't know how many years, but she didn't enter this year. And I said, you didn't enter in Icelandic. And she said, well, no, I didn't have any to do, and I didn't do it. I said, so I won this award, but I don't really feel like I won this award because I didn't beat you because you weren't in it. And then the more I looked around, I don't think anybody else entered it. So I think I won the award because I was the only one there. I'm proud of what I did. I think I did a really good job at what I did. But that's one of those things that I'm like, okay, I won 1st place and I won a big award, and did I deserve it? So I'm going to enter it in Lambtown. And I had told, my friend that's judging, I said, I won this cool award and everything. I said, but I'm not showing you what it was on because I want to enter it and find out what your opinion is on it. And she doesn't usually watch my videos, so I'm not worried about her seeing it there. So anyway, I got this award, but like I just said, the award next year, so I don't know when I'll actually end up with it, but I've got to put a plaque on it, and then next year it's got to go back to the fair so that it can be awarded to somebody new. So I won't have that award anymore. All I'll have is this ribbon and the little pencil writing on here. So my husband came up with an idea to have, well, we got a wood burner, so I now have a little award that I will be able to put on my wall and always remember that I did actually win that. So it was not presented to me, it did not sit at the fair or anything, but it's a reminder to me that I won this award, even if I don't fully know if I deserved it or not. I don't know. Anyway, I think that's about it. We're prepping for Lambtown, like I was already saying. He's trying to get things done, get more looms made, get more spindles made, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be ready for that. And I think that's about it. I can't really think of anything else, and I've kept you guys here long enough because now we've just hit over an hour. So I'm sure you are ready to move on to another video if you have not moved on already. And if you have not moved on, I don't know, pop me a little comment and say I'm still here. I'm at a loss at this point. But also let me know if you would rather have the link to my project, which then would link you to the pattern, or if you would just rather have the link to that pattern. And things will be down below. Let me know if I've forgotten something. And I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. And we'll see y'all again soon. Bye.